Judy Hannan's the independent member for Wallandilly and also a member of Wallandilly Council. Judy Hannan, good morning.
Good morning.
Look, I appreciate you can't talk about this review necessarily, but give us a sense again of the surprise and how it did take people by surprise when the former government did decide to have this expedited approval of the rezoning of Appin for 13,000 homes.
So, first of all, it wasn't Anthony Stokes, it was Anthony Roberts.
I beg your pardon, Anthony Roberts, yeah.
So, but it certainly was a surprise because there was no criteria in place. Criteria came along at the same time as they were approving the development. But forgetting about the actual, inquiry and looking back and reviewing it, which I'm so excited about, we know that the planning does not have any of the infrastructure. We don't have any of the ingress or egress from the area. We don't have any of the schools we need. There is so much missing in this particular area. It's wrong at this moment.
So I don't know if this review will take any of that into account necessarily, but what are you saying that it needs to be looked at again anyway?
Well, I think planning itself, I was hoping that the new government would look at planning and tip it on its head. I think planning needs to be just not about release of land. It has to be about release of infrastructure. Otherwise, we'll have people living in towns that have none of the things that they need. It will be unaffordable to live there.
It's not just a lack of planning around. So the rezoning happened without there really being sort of the appropriate surrounding infrastructure being planned for as well, at least in any sort of explicit way. But the community has other concerns about the Appin development, don't they? I mean, this is the koala corridor, really, isn't it?
Well, that's one of the major issues there. It's going to run right through koala territory, the most prime koala territory that we probably have. There's a lot of issues about evacuations. There's lots of issues about the water and sewer. There's just so many issues that one wonders how it actually got approved in the first place.
The environment we're in, of course, we saw National Cabinet meet yesterday and it was all about expediting housing approvals, speeding up how quickly houses are built around the country. State governments will be rewarded and given incentives, rather large financial incentives, to approve developments quickly. Do you think in that sort of environment it's likely that Appin would be looked at again?
They may, but I think they should look at it in a different manner, in a better manner. If I gave you a house and I stuck you out in the middle of the desert with no resources, I don't think you'd appreciate your house. You'd much prefer to be in a smaller house or in a house with transport to work, where your children could go to school, all the appropriate things to make it a long-term housing prospect, not just a fast fix.
Well, there is no suggestion that the decision to approve the rezoning was made improperly. I should say that right now. It's just that
correct.
The planning department, the planning department does see the need to have a review, given that the recently departed secretary did walk straight into a senior role with the company that put forward this rezoning proposal. So, look, what could even happen if it's been approved? It's very unlikely that there would be any kind of wind back of that approval. But is there anything you think could happen, should happen, to ensure that...
Let's take it one step at a time. Let's do the review and get it done properly. I'm really thrilled that step's been taken and to actually review it. And let's see what comes from that first. I have my fingers crossed.
Just briefly, you were at the game last night, were you? I hear.
I was. I bought tickets about 2 or 3 months ago, not knowing who would be in the semi-final, and I was delighted. It was a wonderful evening, even though we didn't come out as winners. Well, I think we were winners because the Australian public showed so much excitement and were in such a good mood even when we lost at the end of the day.
Yeah. Judy Hannan, can I ask you, are you a football fan or are you a convert?
My dad played first grade soccer as a goalkeeper many years ago, but I also love to see women's sport. It's amazing, and I think people appreciate that women have so much untapped talent, and that thrills me more than anything.
Oh, I really appreciate your time this morning, especially knowing that you probably got home quite late. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Judy Hannan, the member for Wallandilly and a member of